Jesse vanishes, but has he been abducted by aliens? It's a case that's out of this world. Diagnosis Murder on BBC1 after Doctors.
Do you get the brochures?
How about this one? Turkey and the Greek islands.
Not sure it's Len's cup of tea.
Not too hot.
Might have to head a bit further north.
Iceland?
Too cold. Len functions best in temperate zones.
Do you mind if I take my shoes off? They're a bit tight.
I'll let you know if it gets a bit too difficult to bear.
There's one here. I'd make it just like that. Doesn't like that. No, well, you can do it. There's one here. I'd make it just like that. Doesn't like that.
How about this? Bergen and the Norwegian fjords. Sorry, how stupid of me.
You're many things, Susan, but stupid isn't one of them.
You and Martha went there, didn't you?
Yes, 89. First holiday without the children. Marvellous scenery.
How thoughtless of me.
You can talk her about it, you know. It helps sometimes.
I still miss her.
Well, time is a great healer, and you and Len have been so very kind. Sometimes I think you've stopped me going mad.
You were always a bit mad to start with.
The other morning, I got up, I made a pot of tea for two, and I set out 2 cups and saucers, as I used to. And when I realised what I'd done, I felt so stupid. And then I missed her even more. It's the little things, you know, going shopping, buying her presents.
She used to love your surprises.
Nothing extravagant, little fripperies mainly. Oh, today, for instance, I'd probably be buying her a Valentine's card.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, it's coming up.
I thought that was more a young person sort of thing.
36 years. We never missed.
How romantic.
So Len doesn't...
Oh, he bought me one once, when we were courting.
Well, not anymore.
What do you think?
What was all the noise?
Oh, Bracken had a bit of a disturbed night. She's gone back to sleep now. You were late last night.
Oh, I'm sorry if I woke you.
No. Did you have a good weekend?
I did, actually.
You sound surprised.
Well, I wasn't sure what to expect, but yeah, I liked it.
Did you really jump off cliffs into the sea?
Several times.
That must have been freezing.
Oh, I had that wetsuit.
I still can't decide whether it's totally mad or impressively macho.
There were women doing it too.
Well, it's totally mad then. Did Nick enjoy himself?
Oh, in his element.
Well, it seems to have done you good.
Yeah, it has.
Midlife crisis avoided for another week then.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I've just been a bit down lately.
Who's any wonder with comments like that? I should get to work.
Ronnie,
I'll see you later.
We're just looking at holiday brochures for our cruise.
There's a smashing one here. Southern Mediterranean.
I'm not sure I'd like that.
Look, why don't we all take a stroll down into town? Maybe pick up some more brochures.
I'm tied up this morning.
Anything important?
The usual.
Well, Susan and I can go. Bring some lunch back. My treat.
Have you taken your pills today?
I will.
Remember what the doctor said?
Don't fuss, Len.
I'll look after her, make sure she doesn't get into any mischief.
I'm going to be late.
Can't have that, can we?
You shouldn't tease him.
Is he all right, do you think?
Just Len being Len.
Been much worse since he lost his job.
Strange that. It's not as if he enjoyed it that much.
Never matched up to the army.
Nothing ever has.
Some find it difficult to readjust.
You've managed.
But I'm not Len.
That's very true. He's got his army pension, some good investments. It's not as if we need the money.
It's the routine.
Don't I know it?
Couldn't have managed without you.
Don't get me wrong, I've always been happy to put him first. It was expected. You sense a but, do you?
I've known you a long time too, remember?
Silly, I know, but since I had my heart attack, I've started to see things differently.
I'm bound to make you think. Something like that.
30-odd years following Len halfway around the world, making a home for him, and now I keep asking myself, when is it going to be my turn?
Morning all.
Donna, welcome back.
Oh, did you miss me?
That's the understatement of the year.
No. Renee not up to my impeccable standards?
Oh, well, let's just say that she found it a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
And I think I can speak for everyone by saying what a huge pleasure it is to have you back.
Oh, well, I should go away more often.
Oh, no, you shouldn't.
You look great.
Thank you. Where are the posters? It's Heart Week. The PCT have been going on about it for ages. I left instructions with Renee before I left. I mean, how are the patients going to know about it if we don't tell them?
Well, I'll give you a hand.
Thank you. Oh, hiya.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, you look rough. Were you out last night?
I wish.
Well, I've got loads to tell you about my holiday.
I need to settle.
Yeah, well, tea break. I've got to show you my photos.
Sure.
There's been a fair bit happening while you've been away.
Don't bother about dinner. I'll be long gone. No hurry up with that doctor, will you?
Reckons he's a diabetic. Me heart bleeds.
All right, I'll check him over, but I've got to see the drunk in cell 4 first.
Yeah, well, there's no hurry. In fact, take your time.
You expecting royalty?
Yeah, something like that. A new boss. Superintendent Leo Jackson. What, a friend of yours, is he?
No. Just Paula Daniels mentioned him the other day.
Yeah, and trust her to be on the course the day he arrives. And me uniform oppo, which leaves Muggins here in charge of the meet and greet.
Well, it keeps you off the streets.
The streets are where I belong, unlike some.
Such as your new boss?
Yeah, he's more of a pen pusher than a thief taker. Fancies himself and all. He's so far up himself I could do him for assault.
Squires?
Welcome to Leatherbridge, sir. Inspector Martin sends his apologies. Health and safety course.
Modern policing.
Yeah, so I understand. Can I introduce Greg Robinson? He's one of our police surgeons.
Pleasure to meet you. I've heard good things.
I shall try not to disappoint.
Well, I'm looking forward to the challenge of being your new boss, Detective Inspector.
The feeling's entirely mutual, sir.
You never know. I might even introduce you to some of the basic rules of law enforcement in the 21st century.
I can't wait. Obviously, I might have to break off now and again and nick some villains. You fancy a tour of the premises then, sir?
Sounds like a good idea.
What would you like to see?
Everything.
How are you getting on with the citalopram?
It does seem to have helped.
Good, so you can see a light at the end of the tunnel.
A glimmer.
Good. Depression's a tricky thing. It affects people in different ways. I would recommend that you stay on the tablets for another 3 months, and I think you'll notice a significant change in your outlook on life.
I hope so.
Good. Now, any side effects?
As you suggested.
What, loss of libido?
Not that that's particularly relevant. Since Susan's problems, well, you know.
And how does she feel about that?
Well, we haven't discussed it.
It's just that, from her point of view, there's no medical reason why she shouldn't enjoy a physical relationship, as long as you take things easy.
Good.
Maybe she'd like to know that too.
I'm not so sure.
Why?
Things have been a bit strained of late, domestically.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You seem like a very well-matched couple.
Oh, we'll rub along well enough.
How long have you been married?
35 years, 242 days.
Well, that's a long time.
Oh, I had to work at it, of course. True of any marriage.
Well, you've obviously been doing something right.
I'd do anything for her. She knows that.
Does she?
Well, some things don't have to be said, surely.
It's just you've been through quite a lot recently. Redundancy, depression, Susan's heart condition. I think even the strongest of marriages would find that a challenge.
She's been a very supportive wife down the years. The least I could do.
I wish more men felt the same.
I've always done my duty by Susan.
And that is to your credit, but it's not always about duty, is it?
No. I've given her a home, a comfortable life, my absolute loyalty. Surely that's enough.
Is it, though?
What else is there?
Well, maybe you should ask Susan. Maybe she'd know.
Still no sign?
We're never going to get to the shops at this rate.
We can walk.
I'm not sure I can manage all the way.
We could go through the park. If you're too tired, we'll turn around and come straight home. Come on.
Well, I really don't see that talking about that sort of thing with Susan will help.
Well, is there anyone else that you could talk to?
Well, if I can't discuss it with my wife, I hardly think that would be appropriate, would it?
No, I mean a counsellor or couples therapy.
No.
Brother?
No.
What about friends?
They wouldn't want to be bothered with that sort of nonsense.
So what is it that you talk to your friends about?
Well, the weather, politics, golf. We tend to steer clear of tricky areas.
Tricky?
Some things are best left alone, despite Doug's best efforts.
Tell me about Doug.
His wife died recently. We've been trying to see him through.
Well, that's very generous of you, considering what you and Susan are going through.
The least I could do.
It strikes me that you're spending a lot of your time doing stuff for other people.
Well, Susan's the one who made the effort. I did my bit, best I can.
Your duty.
Yeah, precisely. He and Susan have always got on. She's really cheered him up. She has this great ability to bring out the best in people, to make them feel special, cared for.
Well, maybe that's why you married her. It's not all about duty, is it?
Were those blood test forms?
They should be there, under big.
Well, they're not.
Well, let me have a look. What has that woman been doing? It took me months to get this filing system in place and she'd taken 2 weeks to mess it up.
So where are they now?
Well, with the tea bags, for all I know. I mean, how am I supposed to do my job properly if I don't know where anything is?
Yeah, and how am I supposed to do mine if you spend all your time just written on about holidays and filing systems?
Michelle, could I have a word with you?
So, how are you doing?
I wouldn't mind a little rest if that's all right.
Of course. There's no hurry.
Takes me back. Used to spend so much time at places like this when the children were small.
Well, we're none of us getting any younger. The two inevitabilities, death and taxes. Oh, I'm sorry. My turn to put my foot in it.
I did think I was going to die.
I knew you'd pull through. You've always been such a fighter.
They say I'm going to be fine if I look after myself.
And let others look after you too.
Len's been very supportive. In his own way. Can't be much fun for him, living with an invalid.
Don't think of yourself like that.
Why not? It's true. I can't even walk a few hundred yards without catching my breath.
Well, you're getting stronger every day. You're a young woman. Well, you're a relatively young woman. with a lot of your life ahead of you.
Oh, I do hope so.
You mentioned something earlier about wanting it to be your turn.
It's that feeling of life passing me by. So many places I want to see. Things I still want to do.
Get out there, do them.
Len may well have a different view on that.
You don't always have to do what Len says, do you?
No, no.
I mean, this cruise, for instance. Couldn't you tempt him to some warmer climes? I've always wanted to explore Istanbul.
Me too.
Well, Len could stay on board. I'd be happy to escort you.
That sounds wonderful. We'd better discuss it with him first, though.
Yes, of course.
It'd be so good to get away and do something different.
Exactly. Life is for the living. Time we both got on with it, don't you think?
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's hardly surprising after last week.
Tried to take it easy over the weekend. Didn't work, though.
You still at Joe's?
No, I'm back at home. Reckoned with Carter inside, I'd be okay.
But?
The minute I closed my eyes, I just saw Katia's face. I thought I heard someone outside at one point, but it just turned out to be a fox whistling through the rubbish. Got myself in such a state, though, I was actually looking forward to going back to work.
Michelle, I don't think you're fit to be back at work.
I'll be okay.
I want you to take some compassionate leave starting right now.
But then he'll have won.
And what if you have a breakdown or you put a patient at risk because you haven't slept? Who's going to win then? You are a credit to this practice, you really are, and to yourself. But you're not doing any of us any favours by trying to carry on working like this. Now, why don't you just take a break? Have a few days off. Go somewhere where you feel safe.
Well, it's my dad's birthday in a couple of days. Mum's been pestering me to come and see him.
Well, there you go then. Sounds exactly what you need. Bit of mum and dad time.
You're up to date with your insulin?
Still feel rough, though. I reckon it's the stress.
Well, it all seems fine to me.
Banged up in here for no good reason don't help.
We'll stick with your next injection as normal, OK? And we'll monitor the situation.
Be a bit tricky, though, won't it?
I'm sure you'll let them know if you're not 100%.
Count on it. Oh, you could arrange for a nurse to keep an eye on me. Nice, pretty one. In uniform. Make sure you take good care of me. Me mum will be worried.
She must be very proud of you.
Susan? Susan?
Len will be wondering where I've got to. Perhaps we better head back.
In a minute. I haven't done this for years. Hey, do you fancy a push?
Do you think you should?
Probably not. Sometimes you have to do unexpected things.
I don't think Len will approve.
Well, he's not here, though, is he?
Well, maybe just a little go.
That's my go.
Hey. Hey, Ronnie. Are you here to see Ian Carter? Yeah. Best of luck. Is he stroppy? You could say that, yeah. How was your weekend? Yeah, okay. Nick behaved himself, did he? Yeah, both did. Excuse me. I'll, Yeah.
You love it, really. I told you.
Hiya.
Oh, you get to push me in a minute.
Hiya. Oh, Doug, stop. Stop.
Susan. Susan? Susan? What can I do? Sorry.
I don't feel so good. Oh.
Susan.
Oh, Len. I think we might need to call the doctor.
Oh, Nick. How did Ronnie seem to you?
He wasn't in a very chatty mood.
No, he's been sent home.
Withdrawn. He seemed tired all the time, too.
I don't want you to betray any blokey confidences or anything, but...
What, you think he has depression?
No. He's married to me. How could he possibly be depressed? Don't answer that.
Come on, it's probably an age thing.
Do you know, I said that to him, and he nearly bit my head off.
He'll be fine. But I can keep an eye on him, if you like.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Excuse me. How was the tour, Superintendent?
Oh, pretty much as I expected.
I'm sorry about the numpties in traffic.
I've seen worse.
Though I can hardly be held responsible for the shortcomings of the uniform side.
Oh, don't worry. I shall be undertaking a complete review of all operating procedures at the station. No point in having a new broom if one can't have a damn good sweep. Wouldn't you say so, Dr. Robinson?
Oh, I'm no fan of housework.
Oh, I am. And I think it's time this place had a damn good spring clean. Starting with you and your colleagues in CID, I think.
So what have you been up to then, Susan?
Playing on the swings.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
It's madness.
Why don't you wait downstairs while I check over Susan?
It was a silly thing to do.
Nothing wrong with a bit of silliness. There's no when to stop that's important.
What does the doctor say?
She's checking her over now.
I'm sure she'll be okay.
What the hell do you think you were playing at?
We were just having some fun, that's all.
Fun?
Yes.
There's more to life than fun, you know. And there's more to being married to someone than pushing them on a swing.
I know that. I was married myself, remember?
And I'm still married. Just remember that. How is she?
Just a bit overexcited, that's all. Day in bed, she should be fine. I wouldn't recommend any strenuous exercise, though.
We were planning a cruise later in the year. Would that be appropriate?
That sounds perfect. Do her the power of good. You two just be sensible about what you choose to do, that's all. She wants to see you.
In a moment.
Right, I'll see myself out.
Maybe it wasn't such a good idea.
No.
I didn't think.
You don't. That's your trouble. Look, I was glad to be able to support you over the last year. I know you'd have done the same for me.
And that's what friends are for, isn't it?
But you seem much happier now.
Oh, I am, yes. Thanks to you and Susan.
I think it's time to move on, don't you?
In what way?
Time you stood on your own 2 feet again. I'm going to the travel agent this afternoon to book 2 cruise tickets. For me and Susan.
Hey. I'm sorry about before.
Yeah, look, don't be daft. Joe's been filling me in. That Carter bloke sounds like a really nasty piece of work.
Yeah. I'm gonna go stay at Mum's for a couple of days.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, we'll go for a drink when you get back. Okay.
Yeah. Might even be able to manage too. Thanks for looking after me.
My pleasure.
I don't know how I'd have managed without you.
You'd have coped.
Last week, I might have agreed with you. No, I'm not so sure. I'll see you later. Bye.
Do you think you could manage a whole month away?
A month? That's a lot of fjords.
I thought we might give the Med a go.
Won't it be a little warm?
Well, maybe it's time I tried something new. Besides, I understand these modern liners have air conditioning.
Thank you.
And you're all right about it being just the 2 of us?
It always has been. Just the 2 of us.
It gave me a real scare today, you know.
It scared me too. I suddenly saw what it was I might lose.
Well, Doctor says you'll be as right as rain.
I wasn't talking about me.
We've been together a very long time, Susan.
35 years,
242 days.
You still have the capacity to surprise me, Len Staplehurst.
And I'm thankful for every one of those days.
Thankful? Is that all?
Oh, no. I don't say it very often, but I love you, Susan. With all my heart.
Finished for the day?
I should be just in time for afternoon surgery.
Oh, which practice?
The mill.
Oh, the mill. Tell me, are Mac and Julia Maguire still there?
Yeah, well, Julia Maguire is. Mac moved on, they split up.
Oh, really?
Actually, now I think about it, she did mention knowing you. You're old friends, aren't you?
Oh, long time ago.
Well, look, you should pop down to the surgery sometime. I'm sure she'd love to see you. In fact, we're all having lunch at the Icon tomorrow. Maybe you should join us.
Yes, I might do that, thank you.
Oh, Ronnie, have you met the new superintendent? This is Ronnie Woodson, one of our duty solicitors.
Leo Jackson.
How'd you do?
So, back to see our friend Carter, are you?
He's a client?
Yes, and some clients are easier to defend than others, aren't they?
Would you refuse to treat someone you didn't like?
No, of course
Same
not.
difference.
Good answer, Mr. Woodson. You know, I know that the police and the legal profession don't always see eye to eye, but in the end, surely, we're all on the same side. The side of truth and justice for all. Good to meet you.
And you? I told you that. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Carter. I'm Ronnie Woodson. I'm here to offer you impartial legal advice and help you mount the best possible defense against the charges you face.
I'm sure you will. I got a feeling you and me are going to be great mates, Mr. Woodson.
Evil little Ben tells Phil exactly what he thinks of Stella, EastEnders, tonight at 8 on BBC One. Next this afternoon, it looks like alien abduction in Diagnosis Murder. The one to watch.